Hey y'all, it's your girl Mariah Sincere, and I'm back with another live. I'm so sorry, y'all. I was supposed to do this live on Sunday, but the live was at the exact same time that the Super Bowl was on. So I was like, okay, I know y'all is not gonna miss Usher and his performance for my live. Let me step aside, okay? I know when I've been beat. Okay, so I said, let me just come on another day and give y'all the opportunity to, come watch me. Okay, because I know it wasn't gonna be no competition between me, Usher, and Alicia Keys in her red outfit. Hey Bianca, how are you, sis? I'm glad to see you in the comments. Yes, okay. I see we already got some people in here. Y'all just make sure that when you're coming in, you hit that like button so my video can get circulated across these YouTube streets. And go ahead and leave a comment so I can shout y'all out. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I see we got some people here. My girl Bianca's here. Hey, Mr. D, what's up? I'm glad to see you here. Okay, y'all are on time. This is what I love to see. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about women hitting the wall, and is it a real thing and is it a real place? Okay, because the manosphere is still to this day putting out videos about women hitting the wall. So, what I will say is, I believe that there is a such thing as women hitting the wall under certain conditions. Okay. And I'm gonna explain those conditions. So a lot of the times when the manosphere talks about women hitting the wall, they're saying that women are at their physical prime, because they're not at their mental prime, but at their physical prime between the ages of 18 and 25. I'm gonna say in most cases that is correct. Now, that's not a given. Do y'all understand? So, for example, Bernice Burgos will tell you that she's in the best condition that she's ever been in. She has the best body she's ever had, even better than what she had in her 20s. And I've seen pictures of her in her 20s, and I can say, yeah, she's telling the truth about that because she takes care of herself better there. That now than she did then. So that's one thing. A lot of women after a certain age and they're not working out, your body will start to be on the decline. That's not just for women, that's males as well. And I feel like the younger that you are, the less maintenance you have to put into your body. It's just effortless. But what happens is, if you, even as you age, if you get lazy with your body, then you begin to deteriorate in areas more rapidly than you would if you were to just take care of yourself. Now, the main reason why they say that the women are in their physical peak is because, well, that is the age that women can, bear children. I guess that's one of the main things, women bearing children. So if you're a woman who's, let's say you're 40 years old and you're dating men who want to have children, then yeah, I mean, in that market, you hit the wall. However, let's not negate all the men who have already had kids at that age. Okay. By the time you're 40 years old, there are a lot of men who are getting divorced. These are the men who they got married young, might have had a first wife. She might have had all the kids and they're getting divorced. And now he's available. He's already had kids. Okay. So in that case, it doesn't really matter. And a lot of those men do tend to marry within their age group. As far as peak fertility and actually having a baby, a woman is best suited to have a baby. This is scientific. Y'all can go look it up. Where our bodies are the most fertile and we're the most physically capable of having a safe pregnancy. That's between the ages of 25 and 30. But again, if you've gotten to an age where you're 40, 45, 50 years old and you don't even want to have kids, and then you just be dating men who don't have kids. My point is the wall exists under certain conditions and certain circumstances. It does not exist amongst all circumstances or even most circumstances of women over 35. Okay. And I like to use those pictures. If y'all look at the thumbnail, I had Jennifer Aniston, I have Megan Good, I have Evelyn Lozada, as well as who else? Lauren London. Now, you can't tell me if you put those four women in a group full of 20, 25-year-olds that they're still not getting chose over those women. Why? Because those women, Evelyn, all four of them women, Lauren London, first of all, a lot of them, those women are iconic in their looks. And second, they've taken really good care of themselves. So you can throw those women in a group full of 20-year-olds. It's not going to matter. The men are going to be checking for them. The young men are going to be checking for them. The middle-aged men are going to be checking for them. The older men are going to be checking for them. For a woman who takes care of herself, is stress free, okay, and who is well maintained, then no, the wall does not exist. For a woman who is unrealistic, you can't be 45 and looking for a man who don't have kids and looking to have a baby at 45 years old. I mean, I guess you could, but I don't know. Then I don't know. That's a weird situation. Mr. D says the wall is an illusion. Mr. D, can you explain that? Why it's an illusion? That's kind of how I feel, Mr. D, too. I feel like you have a particular group of men who have decided this is the wall because those particular group of men don't want to date women over a certain age. But honestly and truly, from me just talking to a lot of men in general, like I've talked to men who were like in their 30s, and they tell me they prefer to deal with older women because they don't want to deal with all the drama and headaches that women in their 20 bring. Okay. I A guy told me last year he was what 37, and he told me he actually prefers to have physical relationships with women who are significantly older than him. Like some of the ages he threw out there that he had, tapped, it was crazy to me. I'm like, sir, you are hitting geriatric age women, like for real. But from what he told me, all the women that he dates that are in that age range, they take really good care of themselves. I'm even thinking about, I have an ex-boyfriend whose mother is gorgeous. This woman is, she's almost 70 now. When I tell you she goes out every weekend, she has a nice body. Like she got a body like she looked like she had a BBL, but she didn't. It's all natural. She wears her heels, keeps her hair done, keeps her makeup done, skin looking nice. Now, does she look like she's 30 years old? No, but she's very beautiful. She looks good. She's more upkept than a lot of women my age. So every time she goes out, she's getting hollered at. Let's see what you said. Mr. D said, with the manosphere, red pill, hurt man community defies the wall. Women who no longer compete against their younger counterparts. Kevin Samuels called it the danger zone, which starts at 28. Yeah, so that's another thing. I feel personally, this is how I feel. And I'm just seeing things differently because y'all got to understand, I'm 30, I'll be 31 this year. And they, as bad as they like to talk about single mothers, I actually feel like I'm in a great position. Why? Because I meet a lot of girls who are my age and they're getting desperate because they're 30, 31. They haven't had any kids at all. And they don't understand that the grass is not greener. You're wanting to have kids now and you feel like you're in such a rush because society has pressured you. And every time you get on social media, you see all these women with these cute, well dressed babies, but you don't see what's going on behind the scene. Like, nobody's getting on the internet in mass and talking about the cost of childcare. They're not showing you the sleepless nights. They're not showing you that they have to change their shirts like 10 times a day because the baby's throwing up on it. And am I saying that a child is not a blessing and that women shouldn't have children if they don't want to have children? No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying A lot of women who haven't had kids yet, because they haven't been there, they can't see the benefits and the freedom that come with not having kids, because they're so caught up in what they don't have. So for me, before I had my daughter, I already understood this. So before I had my daughter, I did not want to have any kids. When I got pregnant, though, I didn't think about having an abortion. For whatever reason, I just knew I was supposed to have my daughter, right? And now, because I understand the immense responsibility that comes with having my child, I'm not in any rush to go have any more children. I'd be perfectly fine with hitting 35 and not having any more kids. And then just, the men who want to have more kids just completely weeding me out of their dating pool. Do y'all understand? And then because of that, though, I'm realistic. I understand that most men who don't want to have kids are men who already have kids. So I don't mind dating a man who already has children as well, especially if they're a little bit older, 10, 11, 12, teenagers. And then that helps me because I'm not um making my dating pool extremely small, because I want to also meet somebody who's 35 and has never had any kids. So I feel like as long as women are being realistic, you know, the limit does not exist. Okay. Just like what's her name? Lindsay Lohan said in Mean Girls, the limit does not exist. And honestly and truly, women, if y'all stay stress free and don't deal with all the BS and stress yourself out about being so desperate to find a man, you'll be better able to take care of yourself, and the longevity of your beauty can be maintained well beyond 35 years old. I mean, I can't tell y'all how many people that I meet who are 30 years old, or friends that I know who are 30, and they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm 30 now." And I still can't believe it. And I'm like, why? You should be stepping into this like this is gonna be your best decade. I mean, 20s was broke as hell. Now you got some money. Okay, you got some money, you got some savings. You can actually go have fun and afford to have fun. Why are we so afraid of 30? And it's not just the women, it's the men too. But yeah, I honestly and truly feel like a lot of these men who get on the internet who are also capping as well. Like if you threw some fine middle-aged women in their face, they would go for it. And a lot of the manosphere men who get on here saying that, they're men who are also middle-aged. Okay, so I see a lot of 35, 40, 45-year-old men saying that they only date, you know, younger women. And let's be clear, those women are dating them because they're looking to get some type of financial gain, which is not necessarily bad in itself, as long as that's understood. A fair exchange is no robbery. But I feel like true femininity, because that's what these men are saying, these women are most feminine and malleable and impressionable when they're younger. Well, you don't really develop true femininity and know who you're going to be as a woman. That process doesn't even start until really, honestly and truly, like after the age of 27. So I feel like, yeah, 25 and below, that's really young. The only thing benefit to that is you'll be getting a woman who doesn't really know how to navigate the dating scenes, or doesn't really understand how life works. Which, is fine, that's legal. But I'm saying women shouldn't worry about this. And I hate to see women going on these red pill sites and going under the comments, talking to these men in the manosphere, arguing back and forth with these men who clearly just want people that they can manipulate. You're not going to change their mind. As a woman, there's no point in you trying to prove your value to men who are intent on degrading you. Like, if they don't want to date you because you're over the age of 25 or because you're over the age of 35, that's fine. You got to think about it like this: the majority of those men would be lucky if a woman even talked to them. And I'm saying that because a lot of the times when men just have negative views on women in general, you'd be surprised at how socially awkward they are when interacting with women in public. So these are men who, first of all, you already got some nerve trying to be choosy because you really cannot get the women that you get online claiming that you get. So I don't even see the point in even arguing with those kind of men. They're just clearly unhappy. And again, if it's genuinely a matter of they want to date women who are in their physical prime and are able to, sit down and birth all these kids for them, again, that's their business. And if they find a woman that wants to do that, that's cool. But majority of the women, even the women who are young and in their, 18, 19, 20, they don't want to sit down and have a whole bunch of kids for no man, especially in this economy. And again, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with having kids. I'm saying due to this economy, due to women having to work, even if the man was to work full time, the way that these wages are looking, most men, even if they worked full time, could not support a family of two or three children and a wife. So most young girls don't want to sit down and have all them kids and sit at the house. So when they're having these discussions about the wall, a lot of the times they're leaving out what women truly want for themselves. So it's like, okay, well, the older women, the 35-year-olds, are not going to go for our agenda. So let's get them as young as possible so that we can program these girls. But what they don't understand is the TV is programming these girls. These girls watching their mothers struggle from having a whole bunch of kids is programming these girls. Some of these girls' own life experience is programming these girls. Hell, I remember just being a young girl and thinking I didn't want to have kids just because I learned about how painful the birthing process was. That's something that young girls think about. That is something scary. So, because men don't have to give birth, a lot of men have these conversations as if women are not taking risk already, just laying down with a man and laying down to have one child. So a lot of times men try to do their future planning, about family planning while they're single. And the reality of the dating market is most young girls and women don't want to have all that many kids right now if they want to have any at all. So even then, when we're talking about women who are over 35, they can still have children. Now, there's at risk pregnancies, the quality of the eggs begin to degrade. So you have to look out for stuff like that. But as long as a woman has not hit menopause yet, she's able to have kids. Well, and some women get pregnant well into their 40s. So I think that whole wall and age thing, that's just a matter of, men kind of determining age groups in which women are the most malleable and where they feel like women are the most attractive. But again, like I put those pictures up of the four women and I intentionally made it women in four different age groups because we like to think that it's just a genetic thing, and what I will say is black women age extremely well, especially when we take care of ourselves. But there are other women in other groups who, if they are intentional, they can age just as well. So that to answer the question of why I started this live, the why don't exist, honestly and truly. It exists if you're trying to live within the confines and the construct in which the manosphere says that you have value and worth. But if you're building your value and worth in other areas, if you're keeping an open mind when dating, then those same confines don't apply to you. point blank period. That's really all I have to say about it, guys. Did y'all want to discuss anything further in the chat? Did y'all have anything y'all wanted to bring up? Because I don't want to just keep talking and saying the same thing because I feel like I made my point. But if y'all want to switch gears and talk about something else, we can do that. I see I have some people watching, but y'all have not said anything in the chat. Go ahead and hit that like button and comment. Let me know that you're here. Also, y'all let me know what other topics that y'all would like to hear about. I am gonna do my passport bros part two video. I'm just kind of waiting, guys, because I don't want my equipment to be janky next time. I want everything to be clear for y'all because the on the next one I want to actually pull up some things and I don't want y'all complaining that the video quality is low and y'all deserve nothing but the best. So this has been a learning curve for me. You know, I will continue to develop in my technological skills so that I can bring y'all higher quality content. I do appreciate those of y'all who are still rocking with me, even though we out here thugging it out. And y'all see me being consistent. This is like the most that I've ever posted on my channel in such a short period of time. But other than that, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream. Bianca and Mr. D, thank y'all so much for pulling up and being in the chat and interacting. And y'all let me know in the comments on the replay what all y'all want me to talk about, and I'll see if I can make it happen. Y'all have a good night.